What's up, boys? Today we're going to be blotting out the sun so that the zombies can fight in the shade. The Huntress has an evolution for the arrow rain that adds +1 volley for every 10% ability duration. And since you can pretty easily get at least 100%, you can pretty effortlessly get around 11 volleys plus 10 total. So we're going ability area and duration, ability cooldown plus some weapon cooldown, health points and armor so we don't just die instantly, and then I think I'll take this for a bit of synergy in the game. Attack speed goes with the solar panel item that reduces an ability cooldown every time a weapon crits, and then movement speed goes with the compass item that gives you ability stats based on your total movement speed. So mainly just hoping to get some cool items to synergize with that one. Then we're going to be stacking ability cooldown and ability area to just absolutely blanket the screen and arrows. For the squad members, here I guess I'll take a bit of decoy. We are looking for the engineer who has a little bit of synergy with the Huntress, where his little AoE pulse will fire some extra frost arrows from the sky. And then one of his explosive abilities has a nice evolution for any caster build that reduces a random ability cooldown whenever it explodes. So here's the arrow rain. And then probably just the medic for some survivability and some extra freezing synergy. We don't want that one, we do want that one. How much do we start with the badge? 145, so an extra 4 volleys from the very starts. 5 times the damage already. Then here, let's grab some bear trap for more castering. One of the evolutions for the bear trap also causes it to shoot out some free freezing arrows, so you can get a fair amount of those between the engineer and the bear trap evo. So here's the engineer and the medic. I think we go Engie first for the bit of synergy and to try and get the evo quickly on his EMP grenade. And there's the EMP. The electrocute ability has the synergy, so we would like to grab that pretty quickly just to get that going. Ooh, ability duration. Well, that actually could be useful for the solar panel. Are there diminishing returns on duration? Yes, unfortunately. So I guess we will have to get a decent mix of stuff. There's the electrocution to trigger the free frost arrows now. EMP. Let's banish the weapon-based thing. And then I think I'm down to try the early bells and whistles. We can lock something that we never want to take. That's not bad. But the military trainings are responsible for a lot of your stat increases throughout the run. So that could potentially pay off big, especially this early. We haven't really banished many of the useless stats yet, so we might waste some of the big rarity on those. Let's go Electrocution to improve the cooldown on that. I think we can get a little bit of chemical synergy for some extra slowing, so we'll probably just take the chemical version of that. The decoy on the Huntress has the option there, and then Medic might have a little bit, probably all Frost for her, I think. Fire again, we'll go some decoy now. Well, that was a pretty quick triple squad that we wanted. Energy shield's pretty nice, but that's so close to an evolution, probably get that out of the way. We can banish weapon damage, I would never want that. Oh, I guess I could lock it down to keep it in there and improve our rarity. Let's reroll that, see if we can get a higher rarity. Okay, legendary crit damage. Probably do grab that for the Huntress. Decent damage, but it's not really that interesting. That's actually pretty nice. We're getting Frost stuff on all three characters. I'm down to try that. Let's banish that, I think. Energy shield. There's the chemical one. Yup. Chemical decoy, sure. Decoy doesn't work with duration, does it? Doesn't look like it. So I guess the only thing that even scales with duration probably is the arrow rain, which is I guess why it has such a good ratio on that. Spearmint has both crowd control tags, that's kind of nice, but that's getting pretty close, and then we can get some more frost arrows on it. Weapon crit chance does work with the solar panel. We can go ahead and banish health regen. That's pretty weak for a level up. Do I want that? It's pretty good on the engineer, so I think we will grab that and hope for the solar panel later on. Once he gets his laser weapon, he'll just be constantly attacking, and then that'll help trigger the crits more consistently. That's the frozen arrows. Yes, we want that one. Energy shield is pretty good, and that one can get a freeze evolution as well. Let's banish that. That's not bad. It does have a bit of duration and area. And we do have quite a few tags. Gaslighter is of course insane damage, but it's just not that interesting. So that brings Huntress up to 163% duration. So that should be 7 volleys every time already. We do want to get that up for the solar panel, but we don't even have that yet, so I'll grab a bit of medical drone for now. EMP grenade evolution is fantastic once we have that. More energy shield. There we go. Explosion reduces the cooldown of a random ability by 15%, so even more arrows now. Let's grab a bit of stim pack. That should be pretty good with the ability duration we're getting. Legendary attack speed, that would go on the engineer. I'm down to try it. And we do still get 50% of that on the other survivors. Protection, I think I want the freezing version of that. Let's get the electric turret going. The Huntress and the Medic do have some of the most useful attacks on a caster build still, since they have some good freezing application. If you can get the synergy tags to over 10, then they add some decent extra instant kill chance to the bosses you're hitting with them as well. Mod chip is pretty good. Nuts and bolts is solid. Let's go ahead and grab that, I think. The nice part about stuff like that with the engineer is that it of course directly applies to all of your abilities, Okay, we have the freezing energy shield, but then it also applies to his EMP grenade, which reduces cooldowns as well, so that gives him a bit of bonus cooldown scaling, I think, for a heavy caster build like this. Let's go for some bow to eventually get the freezing arrows. Go ahead and get that ready to finish off. The evolution for it gives a ton of armor, which gives a lot of survivability. If you don't have any armor, then the 100 armor will actually double your survivability. Weapon cooldown, that would go on Huntress or Medic. Health, there's a very nice item that gives you dual crit stats based on health, so you can kind of scale up survivability and crit at the same time. And then there's also some nice crit synergy with the solar panel and the mod chip items for either ability cooldown or some weapon sets. Can banish that, and I guess we should probably just grab that, and then I'll probably replace it later on for something interesting, but it's usually around 100% damage, which is extremely good. That's the healing. We want the armor, I think, for that. There we go, 100 armor for its duration, and we should eventually be able to keep that up permanently with the ability duration and cooldown stats. So ice only, I think that's what we want. We're getting pretty close to the 10 tags for the chance of instant killing bosses, which would be pretty helpful. Armor, movement speeds. There's an item that scales your caster stats with movement, so I'm down to grab some of that. I could banish XP since that's a pretty weak level up option. And we do want this to be as small as possible for the improved rarity stuff. Chick Magnet's pretty solid. I love the Banhammer to just slowly get rid of all the useless junk. If there's any more trash stats for the build, we can get rid of all of those for free now. Let's go bow here, I think. We can start trimming down the item pool so we can eventually get all of the items that we want. Multi-shots. Turret's close to the evolution. And they should be pretty good with the duration and area stacking we're trying to go for as well. I don't really like cooling, although it would bring us up to the 10 tags. It just makes the range on them so small with the... That's actually a radius range, so the total area goes down a ton with that. I think halving the radius actually cuts the total area by 75%, so they just become so small at that point. Here we go, they taunt enemies, no downside. Yep. Reducing the area by 75% just seems like such an insane downside to me. It's so hard to hit enemies with that one. Ability cooldown is pretty nice. I guess we could banish some of this stuff just to make duration more likely. Armor is really nice, but it's gotta go for more duration later on. Put that on the Huntress, I think. Actually, the Engineer might be better because of the bonus cooldown scaling I said earlier. And then he also triggers the frost arrows from her on the electrocution. Tough choice. Screw it, we're going full arrow rain. Get as many of those out as possible while we're building for it. Probably multi-shots. So we can now banish junk every time for free. Let's get rid of that. And then ability area for every 10% pickup range. Yup. So we can actually banish ability area since pickup range is, I think, double the base amount. and it applies fully to all of the survivors. Ability area would just go to one of them and then give half the effect to the others as well. Freezing arrows. Now we're up to 10 of them, and we can also apply the effect with her attack. More freezing. Then what next? We could go handgun to get some more freezing in that area. I don't feel like we have to take these yet, so I might do that. Dodge is good, but we can banish that to make duration more likely. And then we do have plenty of rerolls, so may as well. Ability cooldown is decent. Sure. I guess what I'm going to try and do is banish every stat until the 3 left are like duration, cooldown, and something else good. Just so we can always find those with the improved rarity for them. I don't know what stat I would want as the third one though. Let's see. Definitely these two. Oh, I guess pickup radius to give us area with the wrench. That would be cool. These are pretty junk. I could grab that and save rerolls for the military training, and it would help a little bit in the meantime. I'm fine with that, I think. While we keep trimming down the item pool with the banhammer. More freeze. So we need to go syringe to eventually get the freezing flasks. Freezing arrows. Legendary movements, I will take that. So we need to eventually banish basically everything. Huh, movement speed might actually be something I want to keep then. I guess we should have some arrow pen to go with the freezing arrows. Make those hit a bit more often. I'm going to have to find the compass item first. I want to say it's every 5 movement speed gives you 1% of the stats it gives, which is damage, area, and I think duration? I'm not positive on the third one, but I'll have to find that again. Probably get rid of that, and then I think we just skip this. That's not bad if you have the 10 tag bonus for the 5 times damage, but I don't think so for us. And then sometimes you just instantly kill bosses with the permafreeze like that. That's getting pretty close to the freezing parts. Injured is actually applied by the rain of arrows. That's not bad. That's also pretty decent if you have stuff based on your weapon. I think I'm okay with everything we have for now. Probably just gonna wait for like the compass and the solar panel. Freezing blast. So we'll have to banish the ability stuff just to get the really cool stats to stack those a ton. Do I want movement speed? I think that'll be 2% for each of the stuff. I should probably take the big damage for now while we don't have that banished. should probably get the evolution for that at some point, but that's pretty close actually. Guarantees injured. That's a pretty decent debuff. 42% damage taken. Sure. Freezing. Grab some medical drone now. Let's get that out of the pool, even though it's useful for some of the items. And then we should probably take some decent damage again. That actually might be interesting combined with some of the military training stuff later on. I'll probably leave that in the pool. Let's get rid of that and skip for now. Like, if I could swap the Banhammer for that one once I'm done with it, could help us get some higher rarity stuff from the military trainings. Movement speed? I don't think so. More medical drone. Defense gives us a shield blocking damage, yep. And some extra regen on top of that. Duration on the Huntress, yep. Getting really hard to move now. Ability cooldown, yup. I guess we'll ban health. It's very nice with one of the items, but we want to get it down to 3 really cool stats, I think. And then we may as well take that over duration, since they kind of do the same thing, getting more arrows out at the same time. Take our free banish on that. And I think that's still pretty good if we ever get the solar panel. We could probably banish or swap that out. Oh yeah, I can swap out one of the military training things as well. I don't think they really stack together. Ability damage there is decent. We should probably get a level in this at some point. Oh yeah, I actually can keep getting a bit of those stats from the infinite level ups, even if we banish them. But it's also really hard to find decent level ups on the infinite since you have so many junk stats in there. Ability cooldown on the engineer is pretty good as well. Yeah, let's grab that. Probably take some more taser now, get the attack speed on that up. Let's banish that because it's not very interesting, and then just skip those for now. Ability duration, that one, the infinite versions don't spread 50% to the other ones, so I'm not as interested in that since the Huntress won't be gaining anything from it. Getting so hard to move over to the military trainings now. Crit damage, we can banish that. And then we may as well reroll that. That's pretty bad. Pick up for extra area, I like that. Wait, can you banish one every time? Even when you reroll? I guess we should do that. And that'll give us a big chunk of AoE for everyone. Man, it is taking a really long time to find some stuff here. Do I want to use some rerolls? They're much better on the military training. But there's so much cool stuff here still. I guess we can banish each time. Oh, there's the compass. So every 5 adds 1% to damage area and duration, and we want a ton of duration and area. Then what do I want to replace? We can probably drop the letter. And then what does that bring us up to? 203% duration, so we are now up to 11 volleys. Over double the number of casts with some duration. And I have 222% area, which gives me only 162%. Some of these diminishing returns just don't make any sense. Like, why does crit chance have diminishing returns? It's just a little bit of damage. What? And then why is that so heavy on the area? I can understand for cooldown because getting 100% there would break the game. But some of these stats just don't make any sense. Dodge also breaks the game at 100%, so obviously there. We can banish that to make these more likely and take the blue area here. Or duration, I mean. Ability cooldown on engineer, I guess I'll take that. Then we want the laser to constantly attack extremely quickly with that, or any of the weapon-based items later on. And also it'll trigger the electrify stun chance more often. 39%, that's a lot of electric tags here, considering we're mainly the rain of arrows. It doesn't seem like the stun from that works on bosses, right? Otherwise they literally wouldn't be able to move between the turrets and the laser and the other really low cooldown stuff. As that guy gets one shot by the permafreeze effects, which does for some reason work on bosses. Should probably take some decent damage upgrades for her wherever we can, since they're banished from the military training. That's okay with the wrench, but I don't think we care. So we can banish this because with the 50% from the pickup wrench, this does the same thing, but it's for all characters. And they're different rarities too. Then we'll take the duration for more arrows. On the medic, I don't think so. They're getting so tanky, I'm not sure my raw damage is actually doing anything now. It might just be the perma-freeze eventually instant killing them. I'm critting for like 6k multiple times with some abilities, and I can't even tell if that's doing anything. There's a 7.1k, and we're hitting extremely fast. Ability damage there is pretty good. We have less of that. And it's always active versus just crits. Banish fire, don't care. It's getting so hard to move the items. Ability crit chance is decent, sure. Cooldown on the medic, nah. It's also really hard to see with this many spell effects. Nah, armor's okay. Honestly, we might need this, and we haven't even gotten the solar panel to go with that. Blue ability damage, we could take that, but these are the main stats I want. We're probably gonna die soon, so I probably should take the rare. And those stats have such insane diminishing returns already, even at only like 200 to 300%. I don't remember if there's anything else we really want. Solar panel would be cool. Seems like we're getting close to dying, so I guess we'll go ahead and try to find that now. Man, the free ban every time helps a ton, but somehow we still can't find it. Mod chip would be good if we actually had the solar panel. I guess we could take that over something. Maybe not. I'd have to replace the banhammer, but I still can't find what I'm looking for. Oops, getting really hard to see now. Ability cooldown. Obviously, the hard to see part is mostly my fault because of how I built with cooldown and duration, but I think every type of game like this should have the option to turn down the visibility on your own effects. There's not really any reason not to have that. It also just makes the game run better, on top of making it more easy to pilot, I guess. Duration. Oh, we can banish that now. Really, 2%? I have only 243%. And we're down to 1/5 from diminishing returns? That's ridiculous. That doesn't even make sense. Cooldown on the NG, sure. Alright, we are definitely running out of area to move around now. Mod chip if we get the solar panel. I'd have to replace 2 items for those and we don't even have it yet. Probably just keep what we have. Probably just the collecting health packs and XP, since that increases the healing. Reducing your HP by 50% just doesn't sound like a good idea to me. I feel like if you could fit a really strong source of bleeding into a build like this, that would be immensely helpful at this point. We have pretty good crowd control and can mostly keep them stationary, but getting some big percentage damage that would always be applied would be pretty helpful. Ability cooldown or duration, they're both extremely heavily diminished. I guess we'll banish this and see how bad this is. 59.3. We got 1.5. That's not quite as bad because cooldown actually sort of has accelerating returns as you approach 100%. So that 1.5 would have reduced my... Ooh, we got the solar panel finally. Banhammer or something else. Gaslighter isn't really interesting, but I think we're almost dead, so I guess I'll drop the Banhammer now. That gives a bit of crit chance. So since we're over 50% cooldown reduction, a 1.5% is giving over 3% reduction to the current cooldowns that I have, which isn't terrible compared to what duration is doing currently. Just weird diminishing returns on some of them. Ability crit chance. Pickup for area, I think. That's not terrible for mod chip, but more area. I think I said mod chip, I meant solar panel there for the ability cooldown reduction. I guess weapon attack speed here for more cooldown reduction. It's okay, but not really the main carry here. Duration cooldown, that seems to be better. 61.8 to 64, that's actually pretty good. 2.2% when we have that much already? Why is duration so trash already? So we actually could grab this to pair with the solar panel now. Not sure if there's anything that I really want to give up for it. It would be that, but I think we would lose a lot of damage for that. And probably not worth it here, even though it's a cool combo. I think we need that 100-ish% damage here. pick up for more area. How bad is the diminishing on that? We're at 163 here. I guess attack speed? Yeah. So it was 163 and we went up to 164, and I think that would have been 5%. So we're already at an 80% reduction on that. Jesus Christ, that's insane. Where's the wrench? Right there. So it would have been 5%? It's either 80 or 60, I kind of forgot my train of thought there. But that is extremely heavy already for only 230-ish%. Man, they really just prevent you from stacking the fun stats. Only decent returns right now seem to be cooldown reduction. For the medic, these are pretty bad. I guess we may as well. Oh my god, there are so many spell effects now. The only way I can even tell where the zombies are is when I have the freeze effect on them and they're like light blue. They're just completely covered otherwise. Ability cooldown, I guess we'll take a rare 166. 2%, oh my god. A 90% reduction on it, that's insane. 90%, we're only at 263. That is just so weird. I don't think we need to really care about items anymore. I don't think I'm going to swap any out. We got rid of the banhammer, right? Yeah, I think I'm fine with these 8, so probably not even risk it. We'll take some crit chance here. Cooldown reduction isn't great on him. I guess health for the crit chance, actually. More solar panel. Attack speed is fine for the solar panel. Probably the best one to get that on. Don't care. So I guess this is the only thing we can even take, even though these are the 3 I narrowed it down to. The diminishing returns on these are just so insane. So we still got 2% from that, which is not bad when we're at 64. And then those are not great. So I guess we go here. I guess, even though it's so bad now. 1%, yay! On the bright side, I only need 1 more percent to add an extra arrow volley, I think. Probably just the global crit chance for everyone here. Blue duration probably gives me 1%, but that'll bring me to 170? I thought I was at like 100% at one point. Huh. Crit chance for more solar panel. So yeah, we are at 171. So that's 8 volleys total. That's after the diminishing returns, which are completely insane, apparently. Bit of area. I guess if I had the full duration and area scaling, I literally wouldn't be able to see anything on the screen right now. But again, they should have a toggle for the player effects where you can slide that down and lower them. That gives area to everyone, I guess. Ow. I guess for the extra solar panel, those don't really do a whole lot on medic. I guess she can freeze slightly more with her flasks. Probably better than that, I guess. They're just always hiding a military training in the little pile over here. Cooldown reduction. 66 up to 67.8 is still pretty good, actually. I didn't even see what happened. There's too many arrows. So the arrow rain, almost 200 million damage. Bear trap also surprisingly good, 101 million. And then that shoots out freezing arrows for some extra crowd control. 31, not bad for a weapon attack when we were scaling all ability stuff there. We had some decent 60 million electrocution, which also triggers some freezing arrows on the Huntress. I'm not sure if that's included in anything on here or not. 62 on the electric turrets, and those were fantastic for applying electric with all of the duration and cooldown we had. Laser also surprisingly good considering how late I got that. 39 million, wow. Medic, we had a little bit from the freezing flask and experiment, but that was mainly to apply some extra slow and permafrozen. But that was actually pretty solid. Arrow rain is kinetic, so that's constantly applying the 46% damage received. We had a huge amount of electrify for 42% stun chance, and then 5% chance for a tiny amount of electric damage. Not really a big deal there, I think. Decent amount of chemical. I don't think we had anything. Oh, we had the Huntress applying that. But all of the medic stuff was converted to freezing. Yeah. So it would have been just the decoy, I think. Yeah, that's literally the only chemical, I think. I actually liked the bells and whistles there. That got me some decent extra rarity on the military training. Decent amount of stats. It's unfortunate that the diminishing returns on some of the stats are just like nonsensically high. We weren't even at 200% total duration, after the diminishing returns, and we were already at like 90% on some of them. That's just insane. And then meanwhile, the ability cooldown was actually still pretty good. Sapphire might not have been necessary, but I did want a lot of area and duration. I think everything else was pretty good. Nice amount of damage area and duration there. Some nice extra points to help fill out the trees. Medic really high level since she's such good survivability and utility with lots of frost stuff. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.